Good afternoon, and welcome to our Academic Awards ceremony. Thank you for being here this afternoon to celebrate the work and achievements of students who have made the most significant contributions or improvements, or taken their scholarship to new levels and embodied excellence in intellectual undertakings. Let's take a breath, settle into this moment. Look around at the faces of our school, students, faculty, family, friends, a community who cares about the well-being of each student here, about learning and the future. Faces of hopefulness, faces of commitment, of creativity, of studiousness. The world of the future takes form in the dreams, questions, projects, determination, struggles, and learning of all these students. Today, we will lift up the students and work that have stood out to share our joy in them, learn from them, and empower them for future endeavors. I hope we will all imbibe a clearer picture of the different forms excellence can take, and thus imagine ways we too might take the next steps in our learning and work. It has been a year of much growth in the academic program at Dublin School as our vision evolves to meet our students' needs and ambitions. We have introduced AP courses at the 10th grade level and a new upper level of coursework that transcends standardized testing with advanced seminars for original research in the sciences and in history. We developed a marvelous version of rich, creative, experiential education in our January Joy Term intensive seminars, born of collaboration with students. Our senior projects have worked to embody the fusion of mastery, identity, and creativity to achieve rigor in the pursuit of individual passions. Our work has become ever more interdisciplinary, as we become more adept at using a range of types of assessments to challenge our students and encompass the diversity of our learners. Although the word academic can connote dry or stuffy routine, on the contrary, Dublin academics are lively, important, animating. I am so proud of the unceasing efforts of the faculty to develop curriculum that moves our school and our students to spaces where truths can be spoken and shared, probed, reevaluated, where people can be who they are and can change as new directions open up. And of the work of the students whose busy days lead them to learning in multiple disciplines, expressing their ideas and perceptions, questions and emotions with all the force of their growing identities. We are reaching higher and deeper, buoyed by the energy of our growing students. A recent article in the New York Times reported on research confirming that productive struggle is a powerful and important force in education. Rather than reduce the amount of challenge students face to avoid struggle, the article suggests, schools need to give students language and tools to articulate how they are struggling and how they are coping with struggling, supporting students in doing the work to grow from struggles. The article likens the process to learning to ride a bike. When the bike wobbles as you learn to keep your balance, you have to concentrate harder and practice more. If someone takes you off the bike every time it wobbles, you can't develop the skills to ride with confidence and feel free in the wind. Interestingly, the article also describes an ideal learning scenario very familiar at Dublin School, in which students should be given problems to discuss and work on before being given direct instruction. The problems must be devised and be challenging, but not impossible, to have multiple solutions. Students should work in pairs or small groups, and the class should understand that getting a right answer isn't the goal as much as deeper learning. I don't think this author took pre-calculus at Dublin School, but it sounds possible. This reinforces the concept of threshold learning that we have used for several years at Dublin. which describes the times when your bike is wobbling as liminal spaces, a place where your old skills and ways of working aren't effective, and you don't yet have the new tools you need to deal with the challenge. In these spaces, you have to ask for help, rethink your methods, examine your assumptions, and try new ways. I am proud of all the ways students and faculty have embraced struggles, even when feeling uncertain and anxious. These struggles lead to growth that is deeply rooted. We have all faced struggles and experienced liminal spaces this year, as individuals, as a community, as a nation, and even a world. Dublin has not been immune to the ongoing pandemic, and we have had to continue to struggle for the health and well-being of each one of us in this community, masking, taking care of each other, worrying. And we have not been immune from the epidemic of mental health issues pervading our nation and our teenagers. These struggles have challenged us to make more space for physical and mental health in our lives and in our school, and create new patterns to keep us safe and well. Significant projects are underway at Dublin School to create more physical space for wellness, and intellectual as well, from faculty professional development to a major new building, to the development of curriculum. Students have called for this, and we know that students need to feel well to engage productively with struggles, sit in liminal spaces with courage, and grow even when struggles can feel overwhelming. Amidst it all, perhaps even because of sharing struggles, at Dublin we sing of hopefulness, and I see hope all around in our school. Amanda Gorman, exquisite poetess of hope, provides context for our experiences when she says, "This hope is our door, our portal. Even if we never get back to normal, someday we can venture beyond it, to leave the known and take the first steps. Let us not return to what is normal, but reach toward what is next." The awards that will be given today mark work that reaches toward what is next, shows student empowerment in the making, and gives us hope. I see hope in students learning to design experiments to seek answers to their questions, and joining other communities of scholars to share their learning. In students making their struggles the basis for research and creating ways to help others, like founding a nonprofit to support mental health services for teens, or using dance to heal the sorrows of divorce for children. I see hope in students recognizing they need to learn coding to further their studies or build their vehicle, find support, and just go for it. I see hope when students struggle, falter, and find ways to stay engaged and persevere. I see hope in students uncovering and reclaiming family histories, studying the patterns of genocides, creating independent studies to take charge of their education, and writing bigger papers than they ever believed they could. In students learning to conduct others in music, I see hope. In the piercing self-portraits in the gallery, powerful examples of seeking truth and acting with courage. In students imagining better ways to regulate the effects of technology in our lives. In students learning to write fiction in a way to tell story truths. I see empowerment in students taking their academic skills and putting them to use outside the classroom, creating a school newspaper, clubs and affinity groups to find ways to address racism and sexism in our school and in the world, or organizing a walkout to protest gun violence in schools. So, in the ringing cadences of Amanda Gorman, when day comes, we step out of the shade, aflame and unafraid. The new dawn blooms as we free it. For there is always light if we're brave enough to see it, if only we're brave enough to be it. The students we are about to recognize are brave enough to be that light and show us the shape of the world to come. Thank you for your attention to the awards and the work of our students today. And now for our season highlights. I'd like to introduce Bernarda Del Villar, Chair of the Espanol Department, to the podium to give awards in Spanish.
Buenas tardes a todos. Sorry, Mr. Bass, it's just that. On behalf of the Spanish Department, we really would like to thank all our students who took part of the Spanish program this year. As Ms. Gomez was saying, there's a lot of struggle, but we are always happy to see you thrive and succeed and do your best, and that's what you did. We have awesome students to be recognized, and we are going to start with Ms. Herman, please. Again. Okay, thank you. Mr. Ortiz, por favor, se acerca.
Today, I'm pleased to award 3 students for their outstanding work in Spanish this year. The first award goes to David. I have been so impressed with David's work in Spanish 2 this year. Mastering the concept we covered in Spanish 2 required discipline and practice. David excelled this year because he was so dedicated to his homework, studying for tests, and the classroom. The second award is for Medic. Medic made this class better for everyone. He participated in every activity and always brought a great sense of humor and attitude. If he was in class, we all enjoyed what we were learning more. Thank you for all your hard work. The third award is for Queen. He did an outstanding job in Spanish 3 this year. He was consistently prepared for class and all his work were of very good quality. He improved in all areas of Spanish. Great job.
Gracias, Mr. Ortiz. Now I'm going to call some students that just did a beautiful job in my classes Thank you for having fun. Thank you for being challenged and to respond to that. For Spanish 3, Lily Tulio. Spanish 3, Grace Burnett. Español 4, conversación. Alina, felicitaciones. AP. AP Literatura, Brennan Harris, excelente trabajo. Brennan, tienes que correr. Otra AP, AP Español, Lengua y Literatura y Cultura, perdón, Zoe Ortiz. I want more in AP because this is very competitive and it's quite a class. Kiara Robles.
Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. I'm Tom Tullio, technology teacher, joined by my colleagues here. And the technology department is small. We like to keep a low profile. So I thought that to liven things up, perhaps, it would be entertaining if in between awards, I did dramatic readings from Elon Musk's Twitter feed. No, I was told that, in fact, that would not be entertaining. So we're sticking to the awards with tweet-length testimonials. So we'll begin with Technology and Design Awards. Technology and Design is the required introductory class in our program. And these students were especially successful at shifting gears as we moved from programming to electronics and then to engineering. And they always had a positive can-do attitude, which produced entertaining and innovative results. So I've got, first up, Clara Smith. Our next award goes to Quinn Hutchings. And there was one more in absentia for Hilary Andrade. So, also back in the fall, Fab Lab is our Makerspace Creativity course, and perhaps more so than any other technology class, it is what you make of it. Our award recipient this year was independently ambitious, agile, and enthusiastic at every turn. The award goes to Eleanor Snyder. All right. This spring in web development, which we cleverly renamed to Behind the Browser, students were taken on a whirlwind tour of internet history, content creation, and JavaScript programming. I'm delighted to give this award to a student whose perseverance and positive attitude were key ingredients in her recipe for success, Alessandra Sale. Before I go, I also have the honor of giving our robotics program Newcomer Award, awarded to a student who made a meaningful impact during their first year participating in the program. This year's recipient was engaged, inquisitive, and excelled at independent exploration during our season. I'm pleased to give this to Tommy Sun. Next up, Mr. Peyton Levine.
So I teach solar energy and its applications, a green tech class, and so I'm going to give away the Green Tech Award for this year. For this year's Green Tech Award, one group stood out for their curiosity, enthusiasm, and passion for learning, even when delays and setbacks presented themselves over the course of their study. For their success in battery design and assembly, the Green Tech Award goes to Brody Edmonds and Alejandro Ares. Now, Mr. Schmidt.
So I'm Mr. Schmidt. So I teach an engineering and automation class, which is all about circuits and electronics and electricity and Arduinos and making things do things. And I have 2 awards to give today. I'm going to give them together. These go to 2 students who are unusually interested and exciting to learn about capacitors and potentiometers and MOSFETs and all these little nuanced, tiny stuff, Boolean logic gates. They also both took on overly ambitious projects, given the time allotted at the end of the year, and it was unusual for me not to find them in the makerspace in the lab. I think they were there more than I was. It's possible that Hunter McGee single-handedly used more 3D printing filament than every other student on his campus combined. But it was worth it, and a small price to pay for the motion-sensing turret from the game Portal that will squirt water at passerbys when it works. So the second award, I'm absolutely certain that Jane Pfiffer used more LEDs and did more soldering than any other student on this campus combined in a project to create an addressable 3D LED matrix. So also a lot of wiring, managed to keep track of it without shorting anything out through the entire process, which is actually kind of a feat. So come on up. And next up is the science department.
So excellence in biology goes to a student whose hard work, dedication to their studies, and contributions to the classroom stand out above their peers. And this year I was weighing between two different students. I was struggling to figure out which one deserved the award more. And so I thought, it's science, let's go to the data. So I checked their overall GPA for the year, and of course, 1/10 of a point difference between the two. So I said it has to go to both of them. So today, the Excellence in Biology Award goes to Quinn Hutchings and Jen Fon. And the second award is doesn't really have a name, maybe enthusiasm in bio. This goes to a student who comes to work, comes to school every day, comes to class every day, enthusiastic, excited to learn, brings a lot of energy to the class, asks a lot of really deep questions, and also took on the single-minded, the role of being the phone police in our class this year and making sure that everybody put their phones away. And so this goes to David Ferrero. And now Eric Schmidt.
All right, this year's physics awards go to two very reliable students whose work in physics this year was just exemplary. There's really no other word for it. They also both kept me on my toes by making sure that I knew that they knew when I was being a little on the vague side. When I was kind of they let me know, usually with a look. So thankfully, they were each in different classes, though, because they also did a tremendous job helping their peers, helping their classmates, in one case helping their roommate, who may have been a little bit intimidated by the class, and for that I thank them very much, and I imagine their classmates do as well. So in recognition of all of that, plus in one case her utter fearlessness and resistance to electrical shock, and in the other case, his good sense to not get shocked hundreds of times by the Van de Graaff machine, I'd like to give this year's physics awards to Maddie Lefavre and Max Fredczewski.
Okay, now on to chemistry. This year's chemistry award goes to 5 students who showed curiosity about the topics we studied, engaged with class discussions and activities, helped and collaborated with their peers, and persisted in solving challenging problems. So this year, this award goes to Alessandra Salve, Amelia Luschner, Dan McGee, Parker Cascio, and Clara Smith. And this year's Biochemistry Award goes to a student who showed genuine interest and curiosity throughout the course, asked thoughtful questions, led the class in discussions, and always sought to make connections between the course content and the real world. There were a lot of opportunities for independent research and experimentation this year, and the student really tackled challenging concepts in her research. So this year's award goes to Anna Kozakowski.
I'm here to award a excellence in sports medicine. Sports medicine is a class we use opportunity to apply the sciences that we've learned, get a chance to look at anatomy and apply that, have a chance to tape, and we did, at the end we finished up with getting certified in CPR and first aid, so that was great. It was a tough decision. It was a great class to have, but I chose Nikki Lampman.
Physics, AP, MVP, CLINT. Where is he?
How do you follow that? The award for AP Biology this year goes to a student who showed curiosity in all aspects of the class, worked through every problem and assignment with care, and was always ready to help out her classmates. This year it goes to Luna Hicks. This year we had a new class. It was a bit of an experiment. It was Advanced Studies in Climate Change, and 3 very brave students decided to join me on this adventure. We were outside all the time, digging around in shrubbery and looking for salamanders and mushrooms and counting seeds. And every trip we collaborated with scientists all over the region, and after every trip the adults invariably said, "What a great group of students, they're like college kids." And I was so proud to have them by my side and never worried about how they would be, and always really proud of the questions that they asked. And it can be a difficult and kind of dark topic to talk about climate change all year, but they managed to do it with a positive attitude and a kind of forward-thinking mindset. And I couldn't pick just one, so this year it goes to all 4. Nikki Lampman, Lee Smith, Katie Strauss, and Cliff O'Rourke.
So I got 2 more for you. So this year's astronomy awards were very difficult to choose. I had to narrow it down to 2. It was a tough choice this year. So we looked overall arc, not any one particular class, but also looking forward into next year, what students I expect to pursue it even further in the coming year for their senior year. So to begin, so this student showed up to the observatory in their own time as a freshman, and they wanted to do some astrophotography with the telescope. So we did, we went through it, we set it up. I walked them step by step. It's not the simplest of processes. And they did it, and they produced an image of a galaxy. And then didn't see him for about 2 years, and then this fall showed up in class, and got the impression that if I would, I was walking through the class through how to do it, step by step, and I got the impression that if I would just shut up for a few minutes and let him work, he would just do it on his own, because he remembered everything I said to him once 2 years ago. So in recognition of his curiosity, his talent, and his persistence, especially in asking anybody nearby what their thoughts on free will are and how it relates to Einstein's theory of special relativity, I'm happy to give one of the astronomy awards to Ben Rothenberg. So the second award goes to a student that, in all honesty, I didn't expect to get hooked on astronomy. So he was a sophomore in my physics class, and I was a little surprised when he showed up in an astronomy elective this fall for his junior year, because I didn't think they liked the physics class all that much. But he kept at it and kept asking me increasingly nuanced questions, and kept thinking about it and coming back with even more nuanced questions, and realized, okay, this one's hooked. So he signed up for my astrophysics class in the spring, and this is a notoriously challenging class that provokes, my goal is 1 existential crisis per week per student, and I think I'm almost there, if not past it. And you know when a student's really starting to wrap their head around this material? When during class you have frequent so, kind of sums it up. So, this stuff gets really big really fast, and it gets really philosophical really fast. So I'm convinced that Kemp Wagenbach has a sincere curiosity for and devotion to increasing our understanding of the workings of the universe. And I'm confident if anybody can convince his fellow residents in Putney of the importance of the inverse square law, it is him.
Next up is Julie Van in the math department.
Welcome, young mathematicians, faculty, and families. Mae Jamison earned her chemical engineering degree from Stanford University and her medical degree from Cornell Medical College. Jamison joined the Peace Corps and served as a doctor in Sierra Leone. Upon her return, she applied to the space program, eventually becoming the first African-American woman in space. She said, "Don't let anyone rob you of your imagination, your creativity, or your curiosity. It's your place in the world, it's your life. Go on and do all you can with it and make it the life you want to live." The mathematics department has worked creatively and tirelessly to inspire Dublin students to be curious and passionate learners, to see math in the world around them. Through open-ended assignments and projects, the math faculty have asked Dublin students to create a math portfolio, create the America's Next Top Math Proof, visualize angles of elevation, model sinusoidal data, sample student opinions, see coterminal angles in nature, get a life, and more. Oh, that's my project. I've been so impressed with the work ethic, the curiosity, the resilience, and the motivation of Dublin students. They have wholeheartedly embraced the words of Paul Helmos: "The only way to learn mathematics is to do mathematics." We commend you all in your growth as learners, and today we wish to recognize a few of you for your fine mathematical accomplishments. Up first, Sam Levine. Sam Peyton Levine. Oop, forgot, middle part.
All right, so I teach Algebra 1 and Algebra 2 this year, so I've got awards for those two classes. This year's Algebra 1 award is given to 2 students that have demonstrated perseverance towards new concepts, pushing themselves to discover meaningful ways to approach problem solving. Their approach is also an inspiration for their peers. For their perseverance and excellence in Algebra 1, 2 people are Esther Glazer and David Ferreira. The subject of Algebra 2 is a platform for many students to practice griping, complaining, and coping with feelings of frustration, also known as problem solving. And these 2 students found a way through it all. For their perseverance, studiousness, and their excellent performance in Algebra 2, Dan McGee and Olivia Jadlocki.
Algebra 2 Trig. A very curious, logical student, she demonstrated persistent effort and a willingness to wrestle with a problem. Her Get a Life project got her fantasizing about being an orthopedic surgeon and figuring out how she could save $1.6 million for retirement so that she can enjoy time reading on the beach and becoming a grandmother. This student is an independent thinker. She actively searches for fuller and deeper meaning, drawing connections between mathematical ideas. A strong collaborator, her final trig project took her back to the merry-go-round at Mountain Shadow School to create periodic data that she could model with a cosine wave. She conveys a thorough understanding of math topics through her meticulously written work and joyfully presented projects. The first Algebra 2 Trig Award goes to Maddie Lefebvre. Inquisitive, precise, intrinsically motivated, thorough, exceeds expectations. These phrases describe our next Algebra 2 Trig Award winner. Rarely did I need to finish important definitions or the introduction of concepts for a new unit before this student was off and running. No challenge question could stump this student, and I tried. His sinusoidal modeling project of Manchester temperatures with Sunny took the word dynamic to the next level. His ability to do and redo every question for every test during one block amazed me. The second Algebra 2 Trig Award goes to Tommy Sun. Up next is Mr. Weiss.
For excellence in Algebra 2, Ethan Doan. For excellence in pre-calculus, Clara Smith and Margaret Chiaffi.
So for the first Geometry Award, I would like to first recognize a student who consistently engaged deeply in learning, supported peers in group problem solving, and provided incredibly detailed explanations to accompany solutions that were equal parts insightful, ingenious, and clearly communicated. It is commendable that there was rarely a problem they couldn't solve. What's more commendable is the kindness that they showed their peers in the engagement they modeled in learning day in and day out. The first Geometry Award goes to Max Franceschi. I would next like to recognize a geometry student who modeled earnest perseverance alongside intellectual engagement throughout the year. While they could at times be thrown by a challenging problem, they recognized such experiences as opportunities for growth and energetically drew in others to make collective inquiry a driving force for their learning. They exhibited a rare form of intellectual maturity and academic strength, the ability to help a variety of other students, minds, and styles of learning benefit from their presence, and to work with kindness and compassion in all settings. I'm proud to recognize Autumn Moran for her efforts in geometry. And finally, for calculus, for this award, I would like to recognize a student who modeled diligence, collaboration, and preparation throughout a demanding course. Calculus requires students to understand a great breadth of content, to be able to think creatively and originally with it, and to perform complicated calculations with dexterity and conviction. This student masterfully did all of these things with humility, focus, and kindness, and helped others in the class to benefit both from their direct support and from the example they set. For her efforts, I'm pleased to give this calculus award to Alina Hooper. Next up is Jordan Ferreras.
So first, I want to thank my statistics students for a great year. I'll have very fond memories. So thank you all. Group over there, thank you. And for excellence in statistics, I want to recognize one student for his just really impressive level of really impressive problem-solving ability that I don't even think his classmates are aware of, Dean Swanson.
I'm back. Now I'd like to present the AP Statistics Award. This student approaches problems with a genuine curiosity and a healthy dose of skepticism. As we explored topics, you could see in her face that she was already thinking, what conclusion can be drawn from that? What prediction can be made? She is interested in how a statistical analysis can be used to address social issues. Not content with a written answer that only meets expectations, she strives to investigate all aspects of a statistical problem and to offer a complete solution in context with proper notation. Her project, researching whether bias can be induced by altering the appearance of the interviewer, has us all wondering, do you think that ear piercings are attractive? How many ear piercings would you say is the most attractive? It's been a pleasure watching you learn and grow. Statistically speaking, Lee Smith.
The departmental prize for excellence in mathematics is given to that student whose work demonstrates the highest level of ability in the area and who shows the most promise of further success in mathematics or in any closely related field. For the 2021-22 school year, the department has, by consensus, awarded the prize to Amelia Leuschner. Next up is the Learning Skills Program. Is that correct?
Hello, everyone. It's wonderful to see you all and to be together today. The Learning Skills Program is dedicated to supporting students with discovering who they are as unique and individual learners. Students in the program are committed to working with a learning specialist throughout the full academic year to deepen their self-awareness, identify the learning strategies that really work for them, and then actively apply these strategies to their learning process at Dublin School and beyond. The Griffin Award celebrates those students who have displayed an exceptional commitment to their learning process and tremendous growth as learners. These individuals are truly eager to strengthen their skills in the pursuit of meaningful learning. They face challenges with resilience and open-mindedness, seize opportunities to reflect, and take the initiative to grow as learners. Together, we admire their perseverance and dedication. We are proud to present this year's Griffin Award to two students. Their learning specialists, Ms. Brown and Ms. Davis, will now present these individual awards.
Even though I could go on and on, I think this student, and perhaps everyone else, may prefer that I keep it short. What I want this student to know is how much I appreciate and notice their engagement and total commitment as a learner. They have truly grown tremendously this year, and I am proud to say that this award goes to Dean Swanson.
It has been a deeply rewarding experience for me to work with this student and witness his growth into a diligent scholar, a generous peer tutor, and an intellectual powerhouse. This award is for Nicholas Negulescu.
And now, please welcome Lindsay Brown and the History Department.
We're going to recognize some of our history students in the various grade levels, and we're going to be moving back and forth in sort of an intricate dance as we weave and bob, and I hope we do a little better than Golden State did last night. So, yeah. We'll begin with Mr. Vijamil.
I'm going to start by presenting two awards for my Work History 1 class. This is a class that teaches human evolution, the Paleolithic era, the Neolithic transition, and some ancient civilizations of Africa, Asia, and the Mediterranean world. The students I'm going to recognize are people that showed excellence in attendance, excellent in engagement with our topics, and excellent results in different assignments. In addition to these three criteria, Xin Fan showed a rigorous approach to our topics that allowed her to study historical developments in all their complexity. Congratulations, Jean. Like Jean, David also achieved excellent attendance, engagement, and results. He also demonstrated genuine curiosity and passion for history. David's energy was contagious and helped our classes to be more interactive and more productive. Congratulations, David. Now, Ms. Domnes is going to introduce some awards for 10th grade electives.
I call this award the Barbara Tuchman Award, named for a legendary historian who wrote definitive works about the medieval period, the intellectual climate of the 19th century, and World War I. The volume of detail in her work tells the stories of the intersection of individuals and historical forces at critical moments to reveal the paths decisions took and their consequences. The student to whom this award is going shares that love of detail in Tuchman's work. She is able to encompass an enormous volume of information and create significance from all of it. She also embodies Tuchman's work in the intensity of her questions and her drive to write. Above all, this student's alertness in class, her honesty about her work, and her ambition to understand the people at the heart of events lead her to a level of excellence in everything she puts her mind to. She is as skilled working with literature as with historical sources, as I have had the privilege to discover in working with her in both English and history classes this year. The world will be hearing more from Alexandra Beltran. And Ms. Lexmore.
Hi. I teach 2 World History 2 classes about the future, history classes about the future. The first one is called 21 Lessons. It's a class that demands a lot of research and ends in a thesis-style paper about the history of a future or current problem. And I would like to give this award tonight to Mara for following her passion about food and research into factory farming, the history of it, the environmental impact of it, and solutions to the future of this issue. The other class I teach is called Technology Ethics. In this class, students investigate technology's impact, our intentions in our inventions, and our responsibilities as both users and creators of technology. Tonight, this award is for Grace and her deep philosophical connections, reflecting on her own relationship to technology and the impact of our new technologies on our culture. Grace.
I am going to recognize two students for the AP European 10th grade. One is going to be the award for excellence, like I did before, and then the second one is going to be a special award. So AP European is a very demanding course. It encompasses an in-depth study of the last 600 years of European history. At the end of the year, students take a 4-hour exam and answer 55 multiple-choice questions and a series of complicated essays. For 10th graders, this is a very challenging course because it combines a very fast-paced learning and the demands or the psychological demands of taking their first ever AP exam. Talia made consistent effort and was always willing to make adjustments to improve her performance. She made a deliberate effort to participate more during class discussions and wrote and rewrote her essay contextualization paragraphs until they conformed to the College Board demands. Congratulations, Talia. The special award is going to take a little bit of a longer introduction. I was a little bit hesitant, but I was emboldened by the performance of some colleagues yesterday. So bear with me. So everyone knows that I am from Uruguay, and everyone knows that I love everything about Uruguay. Well, maybe not everything. I don't love Uruguayan teacher salaries. But what I really love about Uruguay is the Uruguayan national soccer team. And I want to tell you that the Uruguayan national soccer team won 2 gold medals in Olympics, 2 FIFA World Cups, and 15 South American championships, which is a big deal for a country with only 3 million of inhabitants. People are surprised when I told them that because they say how a very small country can have achieved so much sports glory. And the answer is simple, is that the Uruguayan national teams have a lot of resilience and they perform better when their odds are worse. Well, this April, when we came back from the March break, we found out that the AP exam was on May 6, 2 weeks before we were predicting. And students had to basically learn all 20th century European history in only 14 classes. Well, it was a little bit of a difficult moment, but like in Uruguayan teams, a strong captain, a strong leader with a lot of resilience and an iron will stepped up into the game and realized that we needed to have some extra review sessions to be able to cover all the material the students needed. This iron will captain was Maddie Lefebvre, and I am going to award her with the Diego Godin Award, named after the Uruguayan captain that will tackle the seemingly impossible task of winning the 2022 Soccer World Cup. Next stop is Miss Brown.
Wow.
I'm going to present 2 awards to my U.S. history students. And I was fortunate to have so many bright and enthusiastic U.S. history students this year. I would like to recognize 2 for their work ethic, engagement in discussion, and curiosity about the history of the United States. Congratulations, Sophie Maciola and Jean Chen. The AP U.S. History students, or APUSH group, were very special this year. And I want to congratulate them all for their work as historians and scholars and their endurance in getting through the exam, as Mr. Vijamil described. I'm going to recognize and give a book award to Nate Verder for his relentless effort and enthusiasm for learning. We have a named award, the Peter S. Dustin Award for Passion in U.S. History. And this year, I would like to recognize Anna Kozakowski for her exceptional work as a scholar, for her consistently excellent efforts in and out of the classroom, and for her talent as a historical thinker and writer. Congratulations, Anna. Now we go to Mr. Vijamil again for 12th grade AP Euro.
Don't worry, I ran out of Uruguayan shirts. So I am going to award a student from the senior class of AP European. This is the same class that I was describing before, but it's much less dramatic because number one, these students already know some European history. Number two, they know the exam because they had Mr. Brown the year before. And number three, by the time they take the AP exam, they have been admitted to college. So Katie was a pleasure to teach. She's a curious, open-minded, and methodical intellectual. And I really wish that Katie will continue with historical studies in college and beyond. Let's celebrate Katie. We will miss you. Now, yes, Miss Brown.
This award is for excellence in AP psychology. This was not an easy choice, as I had a number of deserving students this year. But ultimately, there is one student who demonstrates a relentless curiosity and dedication to learning that goes above and beyond her peers. This award goes to Katie Strauss.
And we have one final award, our History Department Award. We, as a group, decided we would recognize a student who has been dedicated to historical inquiry throughout his years at Dublin School. He enjoys thinking about the past and then questioning how the past informs our contemporary world. From his work in world history classes to his thoughtful contributions to AP US History in his junior year and to his senior project research paper on the history of his ancestral country of Romania and the lessons of its history and what it holds as we watch and what it tells us as we watch the Russian invasion of Ukraine. Nicholas Negulescu has impressed the entire department with his thoughtful, careful, in-depth thinking and his ability to research and write at the highest level. Congratulations, Nicholas, on being the 2022 History Department Award recipient. And we call the English department next.
So I had it all planned out. I scheduled this really dramatic rainstorm, and I stayed up all night going through the last 6 months of Elon Musk's tweets and putting them into the same stanza and metric form as Paradise Lost. And then I heard Mr. Tullio's introduction, and I realized that was also probably going to be a mistake. So there's an amazing piece of work that you're never going to hear, but I just want you to know that it was made. It just feels really important. We've had an amazing year in English, and as you probably all know, all 4 years of students are in English classes, so the FAB is always a really lively place, and it was especially lively and energetic, and just a fun place to be in this year. So we're going to present our awards sort of in a row from 9th grade up to 12th grade, and so I'll first introduce Liz Payton-Levine.
I had the privilege of teaching all of the 9th graders English this year. It was an honor. They're amazing. You all should get very excited. The recipient of the Excellence in English 9 Book Award this year goes to a student who is both a prolific writer and a perceptive reader. And while his own literary scholarship deserves recognition, what amazed me most about this student was their contribution to our learning community. The student was never arrogant, never dominating, but rather participated in discussions in order to connect, build, deepen understanding, and inspire. And to top it all off, if the student selected you as his secret admirer, he might prepare you a letter or a limerick, or maybe even a slideshow presentation on your greatness. I think I speak for everyone in your class, as well as me. Sorry, I think I speak for everyone when I say it was an honor to learn with you this year, Quinn Hutchins.
Hi. This year in English 10, we read short stories, novels, poetry, and essays by writers from parts of the world once invisible in the literary canon. Writers who articulated their human struggles to navigate identity across cultures, to come of age, to survive and thrive as refugees, to cull personal meaning from trauma, art, and myth, and most significantly and humanly, to navigate different kinds of love created and lost. Through close reading, discussion, journaling, essay writing, and image creation and interpretation, we discovered ways to access and create meaning, to understand and share freedom, and to appreciate the human struggle to live against the crushing weight of impersonal, global, and historical forces. The two winners of this year's English 10 award both come from the same section and spurred each other through benevolent competition to greater heights as literary interpreters, writers, and thinkers. Where one was searching and vulnerable, the other was incisive and cool. Where one wrote from expansiveness and inquiry, the other from clarity and confidence. Both shared freely of their ideas, and in doing so, drove the class to greater understanding and deeper insight. I have appreciated their energy, their deep and consistent preparation for class, and their enthusiasm for understanding the ways global literature can illuminate the world. It was a joy to teach, to be challenged by, and to learn from these two powerful young women. And it's my pleasure to give this year's English 10 awards to Delaney Keene and Clara Smith.
So I'm going to be giving the award for English 11, which is our American Literature course. This student has not only demonstrated a constant commitment to academic excellence in English 11, but also a consistent and enthusiastic motivation to engage with new ways of thinking and writing. Many class discussions were built upon this student's curiosity and willingness to share. This year's American Conversation Award for English 11 goes to Kemp Wagenbach.
I taught and had the pleasure of teaching the Advanced Placement English Language and Composition course. It is focused on the reading and writing of rhetoric, and there were 19 students in this course, and I would say, based on their writings and passions, the future is looking great for the issues in our current events. And it was really hard to choose one. They were challenged with their analytical and evaluation skills, and to craft and improve their own writing in order to properly share an idea, make an argument, and persuade their readers. One student maintained a really high level of focus, preparation, and engagement throughout the entire year. He does listen closely to his peers and contributes his own opinions. But through his writing, he enjoys the play of words and satire. He makes really creative and unusual analogies as a favorite way of keeping himself entertained when he's assigned a prompt that he considers boring. His writing is highly enjoyable to read as a result and always entertain me. Today's AP Book Award goes to Nate Berter.
Hello everyone, I'm Ms. Wardlaw, and now for some English 12 electives. So in our age of overlapping global crises, looking for hope can feel elusive, irrational, possibly even impossible. In Search for Hope, an English 12 elective, our students took on the challenge of looking for hope in difficult times. We explored the concept through untold histories, the polarity of death and life, everyday delights, and the natural world. As you can imagine, this class got a little philosophical. And so this class's Philosophical Inquiry Award goes to a student whose philosophical bent was evident each time she participated, whose contributions from her discussion of the value that death brings to our lives, to her meditations on the subconscious, consistently elevated the level of discourse in our class. Thank you all for helping us to think, or thank you for helping us to think a little bit more deeply, and congratulations to Harniqua Bodhi. I had the pleasure of teaching a second elective. Everyone has a story to tell. In Memoir and Medium, we explored telling personal stories through the mediums of writing, comics, and performance. The award for this class goes to a student who took to memoir with an unmatched voraciousness, whose work was both promising and prolific, and who embraced the medium's necessary vulnerability, authenticity, and the ethos of memoir for personal transformation. This year's Excellence in the Art of Memoir Award goes to Owen Bradle.
Now for my two electives. In Environmental Lit last fall, we read, discussed, and wrote about diverse authors who consider human relationships with the non-human world, how we connect to place, and how we can read landscape as a text that deepens and broadens our experience of being human in the 21st century. This year's Environmental Literature Award goes to a student whose preparations for class were impeccable, whose writing was clear, well-argued, and supported by properly cited evidence, and whose investment in readings, discussions, and assessments lifted the level of discourse. In her final writing assignment, part of a class portfolio reflecting on the meaningful relationships students formed with the campus landscape, She wrote about changes in the landscape. She wrote about changes in the landscape of the sunspot and changes in herself. She writes, "Walking to the sunspot is an ethereal experience. The landscape changes through the years and looks different all the time. Every fall, I come back as a different person. When it is the most beautiful, as the leaves change color, the vibrant reds, oranges, and yellows never get old year after year. I hope that she continues to observe and note the changes that she goes through after graduation, and that it informs her work as meaningfully as it did her work in environmental literature. It's my pleasure to give this year's award to Nikila Lampman." Wow, this rain is really something. Maybe I should say that one more time. This rain is really something. I guess it didn't really work. All right. This spring, in Intro to Fiction writing, students learned by writing, reading, critiquing, and generally immersing themselves in the craft of fiction, working from various prompts through workshop and revisions, culminating with a final portfolio and reflection. This year's Book Award winner is a student whose dedication to academics is no secret to anyone who's taught them. In this class, this manifested as thorough, thoughtful preparations for discussions, incisive critique and appreciation of student and master work. Wow, this rain's really something. And the most fully developed portfolio I read this spring. Full of memorable characters in a tense and action-packed world, this young author has created the makings of a truly memorable story. Even the characters' names suggest a vivid and well-imagined story. Penelope, Sage, Ilea, Marky, Oster. I hope they continue to develop these characters in this world after graduation, because this story is so full of life and meaningful struggle and discovery. It's my pleasure to give this book award to Lucy Walton.
Feels appropriate that the storm rage while I describe this award recipient. Not really. It wasn't like that intense of a year necessarily, but I like the sort of pathos, the drama of it. This student is not only a gifted and enthusiastic poet, she is also an intrepid literary scholar who cares deeply about learning. In a class absolutely stacked with lively, curious, and dedicated writers and readers, this student consistently produced stellar academic writing and raised the stakes for class discussion each and every day. This year's AP Literature Award goes to Katie Strauss. And I'll invite our colleagues in the arts department up.
Hello. The Arts Department Awards recognize our students' accomplishments across the scope of our programs, from academic day classes to afternoon activities and ensembles. Today we give awards for dance, music, theater, visual arts, and woodworking. We are always striving to grow our programs and get as many students involved as possible. It was a delight to have so many people, students and faculty alike, fill our stage in the finale of this year's Mayfair dance. But tonight, I want to recognize the benefit and beauty of the small ensemble, which facilitates both individual opportunities for exploration and growth and a tight-knit group effort and appreciation for one another. The members of this year's dance ensemble always came in the studio willing, eager, and excited, generous, kind, and collaborative with me and each other. They led with questions. What are we going to do today? Can we do a bar? Can we stretch? Can we do an ab workout? How can we grow a larger appreciation for dance on campus? Can I choreograph a solo, a duet, a group dance? How can I improve my balance, my line, my sense of timing? What if I go for it, even if I feel a little intimidated by the movement? In recognition of their curiosity, inner drive, and passion for dance, I honor all 6 members of the dance ensemble. I will call their names and ask them to come up all together, and then we can applaud as they get their awards. For dedication to dance and steadfast, quiet eagerness to get in the studio, Mars Harrison and Autumn Moran. For choreographic excellence and innovative movement invention, Daisy Ober and Zoe Ortiz. And for all-around excellence and leadership as our graduating seniors, Temple Nightingale and Katie Strauss. I now welcome Patrick Marr.
Good afternoon, everyone. Sorry, I'm a music teacher. I'm going to adjust the mic. It's my pleasure this afternoon to honor a couple of students who really stood out in the music program this year for their contributions to music performance, whether that is accompanying choir, jumping in at the last minute in a coffee house performance, or really holding their weight among professional musicians in our orchestra for Amelie. I would like to recognize Alina Hooper and Brennan Harris. And now I invite my colleague, Jesse Jackson, to join me at the podium. Together we are giving a joint award. Mr. Jackson here has joined me in the music program for teaching our music technology, music production courses. So together we would like to honor one individual who has really excelled in classroom music in all regards, in studying music theory, composition, music production, as well as their engagement in our ensembles. We would like to present this award to Lucas Blom. Now I'd like to welcome back Jenny Foreman.
Last year, we had a very known status of a pandemic that facilitated our decision to do a make-your-own production style performance. But this year, we were bound and determined to put on a full-length show and welcome audiences into the Fountain Arts Theater. It was touch and go for the whole time, but we made it. And even if our first run-through with the entire cast was on opening night. Amelie was truly a miraculous production. It was wonderful to work with this group of young artists who really grew into their own with their on and offstage roles. The energy of an appreciative live audience was a delight to experience again. Based on the quirky French film of the same name, Amelie celebrates the process of finding connections and community and appreciating a moment in time, even though we face an uncertain future. The theme felt so appropriate for where we are living through this 2 years of pandemic. We are so proud of the flexibility, resiliency, work ethic, and joy that each member of our ensemble contributed to making our production a success. There were honestly too many breakout performances to recognize just one, and with the majority of our ensemble returning next year as rising stars, I am so excited for What's Gonna Happen. Get it? Get it? Yeah, okay. Tonight I'm going to honor our only 4-year senior in the cast, Willow Morrison. Who is performing right now. But Willow is a steadfast performer on our stage, from the wondrous contemplation, I hope I get it, to being a ghostly presence in the secret garden, to wondering, how do I feel, or he had it coming, to finally working in the circus and teaching us all how to tell time inside the Two Windmills Cafe. We are so lucky to have had Willow with us these past 4 years and hope that she'll continue to pursue musical theater in college and beyond. For a lifetime achievement in Dublin theater, this is for Willow. And our last 2 theater awards are engraved awards that we give each year, and I'm going to introduce Sophie Luxmore to give our first one, the Jason Potts Technical Theater Award for outstanding work in technical theater.
Hi. I am here to present the Jason Potts Technical Theater Award. This year we're going to honor 2 students among the many on our tech crew. It was a wonderful crew this year. We had a lot of joy and fun. But these 2 contributed their creativity and work ethic to make the production possible this year. The first student is Annie. She became our first student stage manager in 7 years. She took a lot of my workload, and she brought energy and support to every aspect of rehearsal. Her tasks include tracking props, blocking, learning the music, and informing the project team of any changes. We always received a quick and accurate response to our questions about past rehearsals. And in addition, she tracked what we called the door choreography. If you saw the play, there were doors that had to move and be in the right place. And it was a source of confusion to those of us who were backstage and could never see what it looked like. All of this was completed with focus and preparation, which set an example for the younger students both behind and in front of the stage. The second recipient is Hunter. Hunter found me during his revisit day and volunteered to do technical theater starting that day. He showed up every day. It's not just a winter activity for him. He jumped into everything and anything without hesitation. For example, he worked on the lighting with our professional contract technician, Alex Tromley, whenever he could, from dance performances to Mayfair to Celebration of Light. Hunter was happy to assist in any way during the rehearsals, but it is clear that giving him time to explore and learn the lighting board is his favorite part. It is a joy to see him work independently in this space. While he asked for help when he needed it, he always tried to resolve the issue first on his own. During the performances, he was tasked to run sound for 30 mics, for the very first time. And this is not a simple or easy request, especially for his first year of high school. He learned fast, enjoyed learning everything he could about technical theater, and I'm looking forward to keeping him challenged during his Dublin years. So Hunter and Annie. The Molly Shagrew Shooting Star Award, awarded in memory of Mary Elizabeth Molly Shagrew, who attended Dublin School from 1998 to 2000, presented to a student with outstanding acting talent and promise. Taking on the title role of a production is no easy task. It's made even harder when you're following in the footsteps of a film actress who grew to iconic fame for her portrayal of the role. Maria Fallon, however, created her own Amelie. Maria is such a sparkly, wonderful performer, and I never tired of watching her portray this character's quirky and often strange journey. She really took the initiative to create a character arc for herself and found ways to make every moment that she was on stage, whether central to the action of the scene or not, contribute to the storytelling. Her choices were both fresh and consistent each day. Her vocal stamina and the range in which she grew to feel comfortable singing are a testament to her hard work, dedication, and openness to coaching and direction. Most of all, she put her heart, soul, mind, and body into the production, not just for herself, but for everyone else on stage. Maria, thank you for the shooting star that you are. And now I welcome Earl Schofield.
The arts community in America has always been a sort of social lichen. We move into the derelict industrial areas that nobody else wants to live in. We make them hip, Jamaica Plain, Brooklyn. Then other people move in, other things grow, we get moved out, we can't afford it, you kick us out. A long, long time ago, an arts department chair by the name of Jan Hammond got really tired of all the awards, trophies. That's what you call them, right? It's not soccer rehearsal. Gotcha. Okay. Decided she was tired of that and wanted to start something new, and then the academic awards were created. And ever since then, in honor of our innovation, the arts department has gone first. Looking at you. I'm cold, I'm hungry, I'm tired, and my artificial hip butt cheek fell asleep already. First. Social lichen. So I'd like to acknowledge publicly, I've already given one award out to a student, a senior who graduated, because she's social lichen, she has places to be, she's gone. But I wanted to publicly acknowledge for excellence in visual arts across many mediums, including three-dimensional design, drawing, painting, and ceramics, Lu Ning Han. It's very rare for a student to begin to find their own voice in the visual or in any arts when they're only in high school. And it's even rarer for them to be able to accomplish so much independently. For her excellence in independent study of visual arts and for finding a very strong and clear voice, Mia Fantastic Fantauzi. Dylan Pierpont.
Good afternoon. I teach woodworking at Dublin School. And tonight, I would like to recognize several students who have worked tirelessly and exceeded expectations of excellence in the woodworking program. These students have taken different woodworking classes throughout their 4 years at Dublin School. But during the past 2 years, they have come together to help create both a tiny house and the warming hut at the Dublin School Nordic Center. These large projects have required a cooperative mindset and the application of all the skills and knowledge they have acquired along their creative journeys. It is one thing to show up to get the job done, but these students made this work fun. They brought a sense of humor and have been leaders, motivating and inspiring their peers. Their innovative ideas and design considerations made their projects unique and one of a kind. They have worked with utmost effort and enthusiasm and have inspired me to continue to grow this program. Tonight, I would like to congratulate Jesse Choate, Andrew Edmonds, and Oren Robley.
We'll now enjoy a song performed by Annie Ogle, Flying by Cody Fry. And then we'll move on to our faculty awards and special awards to close out this evening's ceremony.
And I can barely see. It seems like this fall will be the death of me. Any second now, the ground will come to take me home. Suddenly a peace that I cannot explain. Feels like the wind is running through my veins. Oh, and all that I can do is close my eyes as you lift me up. You lift me up. All that I know now is sky and cloud. I don't know when my feet last touched the ground. You said if I believed enough, I would fly.
Wow, thank you, Annie and Mr. Marr. That was beautiful. Great to see everyone at this special event. I just can't get over, I'm filled with wonder at what our faculty have created, this academic program at our small little school, and the curiosity of living our mission. I just want to thank them all for the incredible work they've put in putting together this amazing program. And I have a couple awards for faculty and that we'd like to recognize. The first one is the H. William Evans Award. This award is given in memory of our late headmaster. The recipient of the Faculty and Staff Achievement Award is determined by the head of school based on the accomplishments of the teacher or staff member who, in the opinion of the head of school, has invested effort for the betterment of the community. On more than a few occasions, I've been talking to a current parent when they will tell me that their child has suddenly decided that they want to be a biochemist. They typically express surprise about this development, explain how their child originally thought they would be a lawyer or a poet, and then ask what is going on at Dublin School that would cause the change of plans. Being the very intelligent detective that I am, I suggest to them that maybe it is because their student is taking Caitlin Grant's biochemistry class, and it turns out I was correct. Ms. Grant, in her quiet, thoughtful, and professional way, inspires her students to delve deeply into the study of science. Students describe her as highly organized. She plans ahead so carefully that she often returns tests the day they were taken, believing that the immediate feedback will help her students' learning and growth as scientists. Her lesson plans are innovative and easy to follow. Her classes are active and engaging. She brings in graduate students to talk to her classes, to expose them to the latest topics in the field. And her students' posters for the science fair reflected curiosity and meaningful work. Ms. Grant is an excellent dance instructor and coach. She creates a home away from home for her students in Wing and Hollow. And she has done an outstanding job as our faculty representative, especially with the added responsibility of serving on our health and safety team during the pandemic. Caitlin, thank you for bringing professionalism, joy, enthusiasm, creativity, and curiosity to our community. It is an honor to present you with the H. William Evans Award. The Charles Latham Distinguished Teacher Award was created in 2008 by alumni Bill King, class of 52, and Nathaniel Buddy Bates, class of 1953, roommates in Wing and Hollow, to pay tribute to their favorite teacher, Charles Latham, by honoring an exceptional Dublin teacher each year. They chose Mr. Latham for many reasons, but mostly for his encouragement in helping students to realize their potential, and his dedication to a well-rounded curriculum that included sports, music, and theater. The recipient of this award was chosen by a special committee, including the head of school, the dean of faculty, 3 current parents, and our student government representatives. On any given day on the Dublin School campus, you may witness students running around school, going to different stations to solve math problems. Yes, you heard me correctly. High school students sprinting around a high school campus in order to solve math problems. One can see joyful engagement in their collective efforts as they strive to solve problems before other teams have a chance. These are not singular episodes during a year spent with Mr. Evan Kendall in a math class. Our award selection committee described the intense planning that goes into his classes, the constant activity students engage in during a 40-minute class period, and the help he offers students who struggle with concepts. Students and parents describe Mr. Kendall as an outstanding calculus teacher who will try numerous approaches to support his students in their understanding of math. Mr. Kendall volunteered to live with 9th grade boys this year. Something everyone should experience in their boarding school career. If the students were ships bouncing around at sea, ships bouncing around at sea, he was their shoreline, providing calm and reasoned guidance while serving as a strong role model in their lives. These boys will never forget their year with Mr. Kendall, nor will he. Mr. Kendall is an organized and thoughtful duty team leader, who the students point out takes the time to stop and talk with them as he walks around campus during quiet afternoons and busy evenings. One student reported that he is always accessible and there when we need him. Mr. Kendall is an awesome cross-country running and cross-country skiing coach. He sees each of his athletes as individuals while always working to build team spirit. Coach Kendall's practices are fun and serious. I am convinced that he tricks them into getting in the best shape of their lives. They are laughing too hard to notice how hard they are working. Mr. Kendall, we thank you for all you do to keep our campus in constant motion, inspiring our students to always be growing and striving, and connecting with everyone in our community with your friendly and humble manner. It is an honor to present you with the Charles Latham Award. Mr. Vijmel, the United States is playing Uruguay on Sunday. I have 1 6-pack left of Moxie. I'd like to bet it against a thermos of mate. If you're brave enough. Okay, you heard it. All right. We have some special student awards that I want to give out. The Scott C. O'Neill Award. This award is given in memory of Scott C. O'Neill, who died in a motorcycle accident after his junior year. To that member of the junior class who, in the opinion of the faculty, best exemplifies the spirit of Dublin School. It is a pleasure to give this to Lux Emerson. Mr. Kelly will present the Carol Heath Award.
Good afternoon. It still is, yes. Very quickly. I swear. just to speak, why is that so funny? So just to speak very quickly about international basketball, of course, a little known fact that my favorite international team for years, always being an underdog guy, is, of course, basketball powerhouse Uruguay. Little known fact, Uruguay won 2 basketball bronze medals in the 52 and 56 Olympics, finishing second to the Soviet Union and the United States. So from a community standpoint, that's some company that they were keeping, for sure. As the International Student Coordinator, I'm here to present the Carol Heath International Student Award. And this award represents many things, but most of all, it represents the value that hopefully we are adding to international students, and more importantly, the value that they are adding to our community here in Dublin. When I have the chance to sit and speak with them, and as Ms. Donmez would always mention, you know, and Ted Lasso, being curious and not judgmental. I would encourage all the students to do that sometime. Sit down with an international student and say, tell me what life is like in the South Sudan, or what it's like in Afghanistan or Shanghai. And it's quite eye-opening in many good and many interesting ways, for sure. So we had a great group of international students this year. Our winner this year is a young woman who has been nothing but joy since she has been on this campus. She came as a freshman, and given our pandemic status, was forced to stay on campus last year. And I learned an awful lot about her over our extended winter break, where she stayed on campus for 8 straight weeks. And that we really got to know one another well then. And she was always joyful and always ready to talk, always ready to be involved in whatever was going on, and wanting to be a part of the things going on at Dublin. So much so that she every day wanted to know how to get in to get the Nordic skis out of the outing club. So, and then it was tennis, and that's where it came to me, that she wanted to go in the gym in the middle of winter in Dublin and hit balls against the wall. And so the first day we did that, which was great, and then the next day she came in, or I came in, and there was a square about that big and that big with blue painter's tape up on the wall. And so this young person that hadn't played much tennis at all now had a focus and a target. And I think nothing speaks to her more than that, that the pleasantness and the smile are fantastic and delightful, but don't be fooled by that, because what that covers is an immense desire and passion to do well in whatever she does. So the winner of the Carol Heath International Student Award is Rahala Tel-Ali.
Before I do something we haven't done before. I'd like to recognize the seniors who have served on the academic committee this year. 2 of them for the past 2 years attending meetings with faculty and administrators while the rest of the students slept in. And they have made enormous contributions to the academic program with their thoughtfulness, creative thinking, and deep caring about the student experience at Dublin School. This year, their work has led to grade-level assessment calendars for faculty, a thorough revision of the academic honesty policies, which will be put into effect next year, along with the creation of an honor board of students and faculty to create a restorative process. They were instrumental in creating J-term, from the daily schedule to the course offerings, and in bringing it to the student body. They have given recommendations on future curriculum. Each one of these students has the soul of an educator, and I am sure they will continue to be involved in education in their future lives. Please join me in thanking Oren Robley, Luna Hicks, and Katie Strauss for their leadership in building the academic experience at Dublin School. And now I'd like to give the Summa Cum Laude Award of 2022. This award is given to that member of the senior class who has earned the highest marks while taking the most challenging courses over their Dublin career. This year, we celebrate an outstanding student who embodies excellence in everything she does. It is with great pleasure that we recognize and congratulate this year's Summa Cum Laude graduate, Nikila Lampman. Now you have to stand here for me while I say some things about you. Nikila's commitment to learning and her studies has been unwavering throughout her 4 years at Dublin School. The priority Nikila has put on her education has been crystal clear. It is her natural habitat, the element through which she sees the world. Her utter dedication to learning has made academics her universe. Since her 9th grade year, Nikila has worked on advanced levels and has developed strong passions over the course of her Dublin career. Spanish and woodworking were two early areas of depth and excellence. Her fascination with history also led her to independent explorations. Over time, she has concentrated in the PRISM fields, taking 5 science and technology classes in 2 years and a science-based J-term intensive as well. Skillfully elaborating her learning in a full range of ways, from writing essays to designing her own experiments, from math problems to contemplation, from practicing music to fieldwork, Nikila has sought challenge, savored it, created meaning in her work, and reached for more. In the words of her teachers, Nikila has been at the top of all her classes in all subject areas throughout her time here. She is a quick learner, and she is also an incredibly hard worker. She is always up for a challenge, and she does not back down from difficult things. She is also patient and kind with her peers. Nikila seems always to be working a week ahead. Nikila's strength as a learner stems from her diligent work and her engagement in class. Her consistent and engaged work can be seen in notes, assignments, and assessments. Her engagement is visible in the way she collaborates with her peers, deeply listens in lessons, and helps to contribute to a culture where fun forms around the discipline and a comfortable curiosity becomes the prevailing spirit. Nikila approaches her learning and schoolwork with tremendous thoroughness, diligence, and a commitment to excellence. She is a strong self-advocate, and she consistently researches further materials on her own. I am particularly proud of Nikki for volunteering to solo in a rehearsal for Moses Horgan's Right on King Jesus, and she blew me away. That really sums Nikki up, someone who was always willing to take a risk and try something new. Nikila's formidable intellect and ferocious work ethic make her an unstoppable intellectual force. A spirit of fun and curiosity, the pursuit of independent research, determination and diligence, facing difficult things with energy. These are the attributes of an empowered student, a passionate learner, and a person who seeks truth and acts with courage. Today, we congratulate Nikila on her peerless achievements and thank her for her commitment to learning at Dublin School with the Summa Cum Laude Award. And now Mr. Bates will give the mission awards.
All right, these are the final awards, and then I'll have a couple announcements at the end. Thank you for your patience, yeah. The Mission Award. This prize is given to those members of the Dublin community who, in the estimation of the faculty, embody the qualities of Dublin's mission in their learning. These students bring vitality to their classes. They are full of questions and engage in their studies with care and commitment. Their intellectual curiosity leads them to independent reading and inquiry beyond the classroom. For them, learning is a source of joy and energy. It is not a task, but a calling. We are inspired by these students' dedication to the life of the mind. These students live up to the highest ideals of the Dublin mission. For the 9th grade Mission Award, I'm pleased to announce the recipient is Jin Fan. Pleased to announce that the 10th grade recipient is Dylan Tepper. The 11th grade recipient of the Mission Award is Parker Cascio. And our last award of the evening, the 12th grade Mission Award recipient is Lucy Walton. Well, that was wonderful. Just a couple of quick housekeeping announcements. We are going to have the senior dinner in here. I'm going to ask if we could clear the tent except for our volunteers who are going to be setting the tables. If you are part of the senior dinner, you can go to the schoolhouse, you go to the science building, you can go to the recital hall, you can go into the admissions living room, and we'll be as quick as possible when we're done. We're going to ring the big bell and have you come and sit at your seats. The dining hall will be open for people who asked to eat here and our undergraduate students. And we will see you tomorrow morning as well. Have a wonderful evening. Thank you.